Hey guys, what's up? I'm Brickophilia and welcome to another video. It's been a little while since I've posted, but I've got a few things to show, and obviously if you've read the title, this video is a Flash fill-in showcase, another one. I think this is part 4, and I've got another 4 minifigures to show you, so we'll just get started straight away. So these are all my own designs, of course, of different Flash villains, but first up is Captain Boomerang. He's probably the most simple of the ones I'm showing today, but yeah, so go from top to bottom. The hat is just a Lego beanie with some detail painted on the brim kind of thing, and the V shape painted on there to represent a boomerang. Stole that design from something. The scarf is removable, and that's just made out of some green stuff, and that was sculpted on there. The head is from the Star-Lord minifigure. I just painted some facial hair and wrinkles and stuff like that, and don't like it too much, but oh well. So the collar of this coat, that's also sculpted, and that was painted in tan and washed with brown. So if you've seen the photo, it was actually blue, but I repainted it with tan, and I think that looks far better. The actual coat itself is made out of just some card, and there's a little bit of extra detailing painted onto there, and it's just dark blue overall with some silver detail. The boomerangs are made out of some dry sculpted green stuff, which I just cut up, and they can be removed, but I just stuck them into his hand. That one's falling a little bit. Yeah, the gloves, they're just dark tan, so they're like leather, kind of. He has some boomerangs painted on either of his arms. The E-tape's kind of coming off that sleeve. There we go, that's fixed, so there's some white at the end of his sleeves. And the coat is washed with black. Then there's just some Star Wars figure legs under there. I'm not sure what they are, but the boots are painted completely, and there's also some belt things around his shins. And that's basically it for... Oh no, it's not. The back of the coat has the Southern Cross, which is part of the Australian flag, painted on there. Yeah, so that's a nice detail, which kind of pays to the fact that he is Australian. Yeah, so that is Digger Harkness, aka Captain Boomerang. Next up is Mirror Master. I went for a kind of steampunk design for this with the tunic and everything, but yeah, I used a Resistance X-Wing fighter pilot torso and legs for that dark orange colour. And I just painted the tunic with some lighter orange details, and some wrinkles and stuff like that. The belt, the pockets are just made out of a Lego Batman CMF belt, kind of like this. I just took the pockets off there. The actual belt itself is just electrical tape, and the boots are painted. The helmet is a Nexo Knights helmet with some sculpting on the top, and the goggles are from like the city minifigs. They're scuba goggles with the snorkel cut off and some wires sculpted on there, and it was just washed in black. And if I take that off, there's the Kite Man head underneath, and if I take that off, there is a scarf that goes over the shoulders and all around, and that's just sculpted out of Procreate, painted dark green and kind of washed in the light green. And I'll just put this back on. The helmet just fits perfectly over that. The guns are made out of Star-Lord blasters. And there's a Lego helmet visor, which is cut in half and put on either of these to go over their dark green hands. There's just some silver detail painted on there and some blue stuff as well. And there's blue, white at the end of each of these for like light or whatever. They're supposed to be his mirror guns, but whatever. And then there's just these silver things sculpted on each of his arm, and they're both different, but yeah. So this is Mirror Master, and that's kind of, yeah, the detail goes on either side of the legs. Yeah, so that's it for him. Next is Rainbow Raider, and he's very different design to the comics. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. The head was just a Tony Stark head, and I sculpted a mask onto that, kind of a balaclava, or I don't know if that's what it's called, or just a bandit mask. But yeah, I painted that black. There's a little triangle thing on there. reference to how light, when it goes through a prism, it separates into the different colours, but also that's on the Pink Floyd album cover that everyone knows. Then there's just some yellow lining on that, and his bag has just come undone. Yeah, so the satchel is just a Lego satchel with the strap replaced with E-tape, so it's a little more flexible. The actual shirt was painted completely, so it's got the rainbow pattern, but it's just a regular shirt there. And he has some camouflage pants, which I originally made for my unfinished Killmonger minifigure, but yeah, so camouflage, and then some just black and white shoes painted onto there, and a belt painted as well. His arms have this silver pattern design on there, and the coat is made out of electrical tape and it's just lined with gold, and it flicks up at the bottom and it's folded over at the top. And yeah, there's transparent gauntlet things over his white gloves, and that doesn't really represent anything, but that's just the look I have for him. So yeah, that is Rainbow Raider. And the last fig is actually a big fig, so go back a bit. It's Gorilla Grodd. Yeah, so he took quite a while to make. Shout out to my friend Alex, or Caruana Customs. He provided the regular Gorilla Grodd minifigure, big figure base for this, and I completely, I modified it quite heavily. So the first thing I did was I sanded the point off the top of his head, and so it's just rounded. And I sculpted a big gut for him, so he's a little swole. And then I also sculpted the chest pieces for him as well. And the helmet as well in different layers that was sculpted on there, and that goes around. As well as these shoulder armor pieces, they're also sculpted, and the fur on his feet. So the cape is made out of this pleather, synthetic leather material kind of thing. So one side is kind of normal material and the inside is leatherish. And I painted that purple, washed it with black. These clips are made out of Lego studs, flat tile studs with some sculpting on there and some more detail painted, and it was washed in black. And there we go. The cape is just cut up a little bit, so it's not perfect. And there's the lightning bolt that doesn't look amazing. I don't know how to make it look any better though, but yeah, he's got some lightning bolts on him just as a reference to the new 52 design, but overall this is my own design. So yeah, there's a lot of black line detail painted onto the helmet as well, especially the crest part there. Some slight modification to his face, such as the yellow on the bottom of the eyes, and a black wash on everything on this fig was washed in brown and black, so he's pretty grimy and realistic. The chain on his loincloth, that was sculpted out of Procreate and brushed with silver, and the loincloth itself is just purple pleather. And there's some kneecap things there. His hands have some black fur painted, which is like coming down over the top of the hands, and there's some rings on his hands, golden rings on each of his hands, and the hands were washed in black. These gauntlet things made out of wood planks or bamboo or something, they're just made out of duct tape, which was layered a few times. That's on both of the hands, like that. And then there's a few little bolt things all over the fig, just as a representation of experimentation on him or whatever. And he's kind of been pulled apart and stuff. So there's also some tattoos and writing on him, Chinese dialect on his arms, which is a little hard to see. That's just in dark red. Camera's not focusing amazingly. Yeah, there we go. His nipples are painted. So these flash lightning bolts on each of his pecs. Yeah, the feet were heavily washed with brown, and then this fur was just painted in black. And yeah, so the flag which I made, this is just based off the Injustice game, the flag that is for the Gorilla Kingdom or whatever. That's just a piece of paper with the skull painted on there, and a lightsaber hilt, and a 6-stud long rod. Yeah, so that's fairly simple, but he just holds onto that. Yeah, that kind of broke. Hold up. No. Okay. Like that, or whatever. Yeah, so that is Grodd. Yeah, there's a little more detail on his shoulders as well, as you can see, and a brown strap going around for the crown. So yeah, Grodd. And I'll just bring the others back in, because that is the end for this episode. But yeah, I'll try and do an assorted minifigure video soon. So yeah, Captain Boomerang, Mirror Master, Rainbow Raider, and Gorilla Grodd. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy these figures. There's pictures of all of them on Instagram and Flickr with detailed descriptions. And yeah, so see you later, and bye.